Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope you're all well. So this video is brought to you in association with Snake Oil Fine Instruments. If you know anything about Rob Chapman, Captain Anderton, then you're going to know about Snake Oil. Snake Oil is essentially a sister brand of Chapman guitars set up last year, or the very end of last year, and announced at NAMM this year. And essentially what Snake Oil Fine Instruments do is provide cures for all known bad tone. The whole idea of it was born out of a troll comment to Rob on YouTube, and the troll comment read something like, you guys, you'll sell any old rubbish, you're just snake oil salesmen. And both Rob and Lee found that really funny. I think Rob just took it one step further and went, well, let's just make a brand called Snake Oil because it's kind of funny, and we'll make sure we provide a good quality product. That's a given, but yeah, just generally just a bit of fun. And I think most of the people in the world have got that, and a few people still think it's genuinely rubbish products that are being sold by snake oil salesmen, but those people won't get to enjoy the beautiful tones provided by Snake Oil Fine Instruments. We're looking at two pedals today. We've got the Very Thing, which is a boost drive pedal, and then we've got the Mamillus Engine, which is a distortion pedal. The distortion pedal, the Mamillus Engine, has two clipping stages, symmetrical clipping stages, whereas the Very Thing is your classic kind of boost pedal. So as you can see on the close-up cam, I've got them sat next to each other. On the right-hand side, the Very Thing. Firstly, I just want to point out the artwork of the pedals. They've actually won awards for these pedals in terms of the way they look, because they really are awesome. It's that sort of steampunk era, sort of Great Western vibe going on, and they really do look cool, and I think that's the inspiration behind the brand. The Very Thing on the right hand side, you've basically got gain, volume and tone, and then the Mamillus Engine, you've got gain, volume, then you've got voice, which is essentially how you can control the second clipping stage, and then tone. They're running into the Rev D20 because it's an incredible product that I've just reviewed, and I think it's awesome. It's a really good pedal platform, especially for a demo like this. We've also got crunch on the D20 we can use as well, and any reverb and delay you hear is coming from the Apollo X8P. So yeah, let's get stuck in. Okay, we'll start with the Very Thing, and then we'll go to the Mamillus Engine just one by one so you can hear the difference. The Very Thing is a boost drive, so it boosts the overall signal, so you'll notice a bigger jump in volume when turning on the Very Thing, if you've got both, than the Mamillus Engine. That's purely down to the fact that it is a boost pedal. Alright, so running the 55 Custom Shop reissue Strat, this is how it sounds. So super clean. I've not got any reverb or delay on it yet, so you can hear the pure tone of the pedal. This is everything at 12 o'clock. Let's have a listen. It is worth saying, and I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, but these pedals were designed in conjunction with Zach from Mythos Pedals, and he's well known for his pedals. Like Rob's loved the Mjolnir and stuff like that, and he had a Titan, which was a signature pedal, and now he's worked together with them to bring the Snake Oil range, and these are handcrafted in the UK as well. So not only are they like designed with a really cool pedal builder and Rob, but then also brought and manufactured in the UK, so that's really nice. Back to the pedal. At 12 o'clock, I'm really digging the way it sounds. Straight up kind of low to mid gain, kind of classic rock tone. Let's see what happens when we drive it a little bit. So I threw on a bit of reverb there, just so that I could play a bit of lead and all that kind of stuff. Like, really love the way this sounds. I'm a big fan of kind of distortion, boost, or whatever, overdrive pedals that just give you a vibe and a tone as soon as you turn them on. Now, I've reviewed a lot of drive and distortion pedals over the years on my channel. And I'm not just saying it because, you know, it's Rob and Lee and everything like that. Like I've said before, I don't normally review things that I don't think I can do justice to. It's not really the kind of thing I like to do. I did the original launch trailer for this when they were announced in January. And when I first heard the prototypes, yeah, I mean, it's Rob, you know, he knows good sound. He knows good gain tones. And when it comes to getting a tone for lead or for feel and all that kind of stuff, he knows his stuff. So I wasn't surprised that they sounded great, and I'm not surprised that it sounds great now. It's just nice having it in my studio, in my rig, to hear it through the things that I know the sound of really well. And yeah, no surprise to me, sounds fantastic. Lovely. Sounds really good. Awesome. That just sounds fantastic to me. I don't have any complaints with that whatsoever. I think I pushed the level a bit, I'm not sure. Might have clipped it, might have not. If it clips, I'm sorry, that was my fault, because I knew that obviously it's a boost and I'm going into a clean. But before we move on to the Mamillus Engine, what I want to do is also demonstrate how the very thing works in front of a crunchy sound. And the D20 has a push-pull gain pot, so I'm going to pull that out, add a bit of gain to the sound before we hit the very thing and see how they blend together. Okay, so this is the crunch with the D20. So it's got a little bit more harmonic content, there's a little bit of bite there. So let's throw on the very thing. How does it blend? So there's way more high end going on, especially on the bridge pickup. It's suddenly got way more bite, but you could drop that off if you just roll off the tone a bit. Let's boost the gain. Let's have a listen to that. Awesome. Feels really good. I haven't got a bad thing to say about that. If you're looking for a straight up boost overdrive, that's just going to blend in front of a clean, give you that driven kind of pushed amp sort of sound, or blend it with a crunch and just get some really nice sustain and still an open wide kind of gain sound. then yeah, the very thing cures all known bad tone. So there you go, that's the very thing. Let's move to the Mamillus Engine. One thing I noticed that Rob did say as well when he was talking about this was that in his mind, the Mamillus Engine is kind of like the amp, like the distortion, the amp, and then the very thing is the thing you'd boost on top to give you more sustain and lead if you got the two as a pair. So we'll try that as well. Anyway, bridge on clean. And here comes the Mamillus Engine. Immediately, it's obviously lower output in terms of volume, so I'm going to boost the volume. The other thing to say is there's way more gain on this one, but then again it is a distortion pedal, so that's what you'd expect. So with just boosting the gain and the volume on that Mamillus Engine, it's got tons of sustain for lead. It sounds really good. Even with the single coils, I've still got loads of sustain and it doesn't sound too shrill. What I want to try now is engage that sort of symmetrical clipping stage using the voice. So I'm going to dial it off and then we'll slowly bring it in and you'll hear hopefully that symmetrical clipping stage gets added in as we turn it up higher. So this is voice off. He's done a good one as Rob. What can I say really? I mean, I know Rob like a brother and I knew that, you know, the kind of things that he likes, we share the same interest in tone in some areas, and most certainly in this area I'm enjoying it. It feels really nice to play, so I'm not surprised, and they sound really, really great. What I want to try next is treat it like Rob suggested, which is the Mamillus Engine is like the amp and then you put the very thing in front and it boosts the overall signal. So at the minute they're the wrong way around. I've got my guitar going to the very thing first, so I'm going to swap those round and then we'll have a listen and then we'll try with the humbuckers. So let's check it out. Yo.
Hello viewers, thank you so much for watching this demonstration by Rabea Massaad from the band Dorje and the band Tosca and the band Froglead, who is undoubtedly one of my favourite friends with an afro. And I love you all. Have a great day.
See you in a bit, dude. Bye. Okay, so I've done the old switcheroo. We've got the Mamillus Engine first, then the very thing. I want to see if Rob's theory is correct by using the very thing as that boost. Is it going to boost the overall signal by having it in front of the Mamillus Engine, giving us loads of gain and sustain. So I might just drop the gain off on the very thing and use it more like a boost at this stage, because I don't want to get too much gain going on and it all become a little bit mushed. So let's dip off the gain, do it like this. Right, so just a quick reference, here's the clean. Mamillus Engine. And we're going to boost it. So hearing the two, obviously it's boosting it quite a bit and we're getting a bit more gain, and so the sustain and compression's all there. Really good for lead on a bridge pickup. If you notice, when I put it to the neck pickup and got lower, it started to mush up. That's going to happen. But either way, let's have a little mess with the controls a bit more. So it works, and you can tweak with the tones a little bit. As you can see on the close-up camera, that's where I found just now, off the cuff, that I'm getting less choking when I went to the neck pickup on the lower strings. So you can definitely tweak it to do that. It's just something that you should be aware of when using any multiple amount of distortion gain pedals, that you can often make that happen where things start to get a bit choked. But in this situation, actually rolling off a bit of volume on the very thing and using more of the volume on the Mamillus Engine seemed to open it up a bit more. So it's a balancing act, but either way, the two of them together sounded really nice, especially using single coils, giving me a really, really thick, defined gain sound with a Fender Strat. So yeah, sounded sick. Next up, and final part of this video, is just play with some humbuckers and see what kind of tones we can get. Okay, now I've got the Mayonnaise Core Classic. This was sat in the room, so I figured it's got bare knuckle humbucker in it, so it's probably a good guitar to show you what this sounds like with more output coming from the guitar. This is how it sounds into the clean. So it's already driving. So let's start with the Mamillus Engine. Let's put everything back to 12. That sounds really good. That's the kind of distortion with a humbucker where it's great for rhythm, it's super thick and defined, saturated, full of gain, but then you can break out into some high sustain kind of lead. Everything that I like in a distortion pedal. Natural, it's got a natural voice to it, the feel of it is really good, all the chord definitions there, and we started with a clean, pushed clean with the humbucker. From that, awesome sound. Right, let's go very thing. I mean, that's with the gain gunned on the very thing, and it's still giving us like a loud amplifier, roaring kind of cab sound. I'm just going to do the same thing again, blend the two together. Mamillus Engine. You can definitely hear it's getting there, especially with humbuckers, but I bet on lead it's really... That would conclude my look at the Snake Oil Fan Instruments Very Thing and Mamillus Engine pedals. My verdict is, and of course, you know, like, I can't lie because it's Rob and Lee, and just to caveat that I knew that the pedals already sounded good before doing this video, so I knew that it was something that I'd enjoy. And you know, there is a level of being biased because it's my friends, like my brothers and people that I've kind of grown with now, and they've obviously done a lot for me and stuff. But at the same time, as I've said, I don't review anything on this channel that I don't think I can do justice to or that doesn't sound good to me. So, you know, take from that what you will. As far as I'm concerned, if you're in the market for a rock, hard rock, gain, distortion, lead, sustain, like those kind of tones that you heard in this video, you can achieve that with these pedals. I wasn't doing anything special, just straight into a clean amp with the Rev D20, which is a 6v6 powered clean amplifier. The least you can do if you're not convinced by this video is go and try them for yourself. But to be fair, I think they sound fantastic, and I think I'm being a little bit extra thorough in my communication to you guys that, you know, this is a very close friend of mine's pedal brand, and so I don't want you just to think that I'm just saying it's good because it is. You heard the tones in the video. Versatile, easy to use, straightforward, and to top it off, they look really good. So there you go. There is a look at Snake Oil Fan Instruments. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much to Rob, Lee, and all the guys at Chapman Guitar / Snake Oil for sending these over. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Like, subscribe, and always share if you can. I've been Rabea, and I'll see you very soon.